Please come through the door. What rights do you have? What rights do you have, if any? Well, that takes us to this week's case. It involves a man. Last name was Ray. He was a fellow that was going through a divorce with his wife. His wife and he were estranged. He was living in a separate property. She called the police and said he had custody of their child and that he was supposed to relinquish the child, but she couldn't get a hold of him. She felt he was engaged in a kidnap. They went to his house, came through the door. He wasn't home. They searched the property, didn't find either he or the child. Later, he turned himself in. Nothing ever came of this. No charges were ever filed. But he was really ticked off. He said, how can this happen? How can this happen? Suddenly, the police come through the door, and they didn't have a warrant. They had no authorization to come into my house and look around. This shouldn't be able to happen. And I'm going to sue the police force as a result of this, which he did. Well, the case went forward in federal court. And in federal court, the argument by the police was that there weren't any damages. I mean, they didn't damage any property. There wasn't anything done to any of the property. He didn't have any medical bills. He wasn't even there. Nothing happened. Therefore, he shouldn't be able to recover any money from the police. Well, the court listened to that and they said, you're right. He doesn't get to recover any money from the police, and dismissed the case. Well, the case then went up on appeal. Went to an appellate court, and the appellate court looked at it and said, well, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Here we have a man who has a home, and the police show up without any cause other than the fact that his wife, estranged wife, was complaining about him. They come through the door, they search the house, and then they leave. Well, he has, in this instance, had his privacy violated. He's had strangers in his home looking through his personal things, and he is upset about that. There's the mental anguish of that. And yes, he can go forward with this case. Yes, he can go forward proving up the kinds of problems that he had as a result of the police doing an unauthorized search. Okay. So what's the point of this? The point of this is pretty simple and straightforward. And that is, in this nation, in the U.S., we have constitutional rights. We have a constitution which basically stands between you and the government. The role of the Constitution is to keep government out of your backyard. When government comes through the front door without any authorization, not only can you throw out any evidence if you're charged with a crime, but in addition, you have a right to sue the government, the police, because of their violation of the law. Basically, the law applies to government, it applies to you, it applies to me. And it allows you to take action if the law is broken by government, by police. Hey, US of A, not a bad place to be. My name's David Allen, and we bring you these cases every week.